What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're back at it again. Of course, like usual, with another episode of FNFT. Your favorite weekly MMA show, huh? Why did I try an intro for that? That sounded weird. That came out weird. Anyways, guys, welcome back. We got another not so much banger. A lot of the fights are actually getting canceled. I'm canceling this. I'm not canceling this. Holy shit. Can't speak today. I'm recording this after we've had Cody Garbrandt and Miles Johns canceled. That was sad. That was announced, oh god, so long ago. Really looking forward to that, especially seeing Cody with his new dumbass eye tattoo. And now we've had Ricky Turcios versus Bernardo Sopai. I think is it Bernardo? That's Sopai. Canceled as well. I believe Ricky Turcios was sick. But we got another UFC card this weekend. This is a blessing in disguise. So the card might not look that good, considering there's like three or two. There's 3 ranked fighters on the whole card. 2 of them are women. But one of them's Canadian, so she gets a pass. And actually is kind of entertaining, I know. Odd to say. But this is the last Apex event until like January. We don't have to deal with an Apex card for a month. That's fucking wild. We don't have to deal with the Apex for a bit, and then after that, maybe it hopefully looks a little better. Maybe it could fit a few people, have like a decent crowd rather than just pure silence. And a bigger octagon, in my opinion. I think would be great. So let's get into the picks for this weekend. Starting off, my least favorite type of fight, an unranked women's bantamweight fight. Oh my. So this originally was not scheduled. This is short notice fight. Melissa Mullins had that fight with what's her face? She was on the Paris card. Nora Cornell. Or wait, was it the Paris card? Yeah, I think it was. And she got KO'd. She didn't look bad until the KO. And now we have Claudia Silgia. I think that's Silgula. And she's debuting on short notice. So she's kind of had like a flukester career outside the UFC. So I'm going to go with Melissa Mullins by decision. Most of these women's fights don't get finished, but Melissa Mullins has 3 knockouts. None of them are in the UFC, but I'm going to say, yeah, this goes... Holy... I cannot speak today. This goes to a decision, a pretty competent decision. I just don't think if you there's enough time at this level, especially in a very low skill division. Next up, we got middleweight. We got Tracy and Gore versus Antonio Trocoli. The new husband of Mackenzie Dern. Very jealous of him, I'll say. He gets to... you know what? I won't say what I was going to say next. But we got Tracy and Gore, who's had a little bit of an on and off. And I will say, he's been up against, like, Brian Battle. He lost his debut to Brian Battle. He had a few wins on the Contender Series, I think. Or a couple. Maybe it might have just been one. But he fought Brian Battle, I believe. It might have been tough. I forget. He fought Brian Battle. And Brian Battle's elite. He's amazing. Definitely if he wins his next fight, he's going to be in the ranking. So that's not a bad loss. The bad loss is to Cody Brundage. Whew. Man, yeah. Cody Brundage, that is not a great loss. And then he beat Josh Frem. But all of this is from like 2 years ago. So he's either really improved or he's really declined. And I'm gonna lean towards like a little bit of a decline here. But at the same time, we got Antonio Trocoli over here. This guy, he was supposed to fight, who was he supposed to fight? I know he was supposed to fight Ikram Aliskerov, but he was supposed to fight some other people before that. Oh, man, who was it? I don't know. It was some really high-level competition. He really did just get screwed over, but then he ended up being the guy to step in with Shar Magomedov on like 2-day, 1-day notice on the Saudi Arabia card. And he got his ass handed to him. I actually think he probably took the first round off Shara. Hence why Shara shouldn't be ranked, in my opinion, but that's just me. But in the later rounds, he really just stood there and did nothing. I don't know if that's a hot take. Sorry. Evolved. We no longer eat during episodes, we drink during episodes. This week's drink is strawberry kiwi. I don't know if that was the same one as a couple weeks ago, but I've actually been taking a liking to this one. But yeah, I am going to say we're probably going to get Tracy and Gore by a finish. I know he's probably going to be on a little bit of a decline, but I really don't have that much faith in Antonio Trocoli. So I am going to say Tracy and Gore probably by a round 2 TKO, I'm going to say. Next up, we got Cody Statman versus Damon Blackshear. Cody Statman, he's on a bit of a decline in his career. He had that fight with Lapilus, who's like, Lapilus, that's not a bad loss. He's a good contender. But we've also seen him lose to Silva de Andrade, but he's also had a few wins. I think he's on a little bit of a decline. Now, I will say he's been up against some real high-level competition. He's fought Merab, Said Nurmagomedov. So some of those losses aren't horrible. They're not horrible. Like even Song Yadong and Aljo, like he's had some noticeable like high-level competition that he's fought. But I do think he's on the decline of his career. And then we got Damon Blackshear over here. He did like he last fought on the St. Louis card. And I'll just say he got fucking KO'd in like 13 seconds by Montel Jackson. That's what got Montel Jackson into the rankings, actually, I believe. Was that KO. And now he also fought Mario Bautista before that. But before that, he was relatively successful. He fought one of the Basharat brothers. Oh, who was it? Was it Fareed or the other one? It was Fareed. The still undefeated one. Good thing he didn't have to cross paths with Canada. Also, I forgot to mention that Ayman Zahabi is ranked now. We finally have a Canadian ranked fighter. I'm so fucking happy. And Dominic Cruz is out of the rankings too. It's perfect. It's perfect. Anyways, back to this. We have he fought Yusuf Salal, who's on a tear right now. So he's really been up against high-level competition, and that's how we've seen him lose. Like Montel Jackson even, he's ranked now. I'm going to pick Damon Blackshear by a decision. Actually, let's say, you know what? I'm actually going to switch this up. We're going to go by submission in the third round. Damon Blackshear has pretty good grappling, while Cody Statman's more of a decision guy. A lot of his wins are decisions. Damon Blackshear really heavily on submissions. Like if he gets you into submission, you're probably gonna tap. And even he could KO him. I could see this fight going any way for Damon, but I have him winning in this one. Next up, we got Matthew Semmelsberger versus Charles Radke. Matthew Semmelsberger, man, what happened to this guy? He had an amazing haircut before, and now he's got whatever this is now. He looks so different. He had that last fight on the it was the Johnny Walker Ankalaev card. And he fought Preston Parsons and lost the decision there. And he's overall been on a big losing streak. He hasn't won in a while. I think his last win was it was Jake Matthews. Yeah, that's actually a good win. Considering Jake Matthews is on a tear right now. And yeah, Matthew Semmelsberger hits really hard, but he's a bit of a bum. And then we got Charles Radke here. Charles Radke, he's coming off a brutal loss to Carlos Prates. But before that, he was KOing people and just all around outstriking people. He fought Blood Diamond, if anyone remembers him. Fucking Izzy's teammate who got cut. But yeah, he's really good. He just ran into Carlos Prates. I am going to pick Charles Radke by decision. I don't think Semmelsberger will get finished, but I don't think he's winning this. I don't see him winning this. He's on a real big downfall. We could see him get KO'd, but I don't think so. Next up, we got, this fight was so good before. So we got, I still can't say his name. Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos versus Zach Krogan. or Scroggin. Man, this was a good fight before. It was Dos Santos versus Dalby, man. I love both of those guys. So Dos Santos has that. He went to that draw with Renat Fakhretdinov, and he fought Randy Brown. Randy Brown, amazing unranked welterweight. That's not a bad loss. And he had that draw with Renat Fakhretdinov. But he has wins. Recently, he beat Benoit Saint-Denis, which that's aging a little worse now, considering that Benoit Saint-Denis is looking more and more like a fraud. But he also had that spinning wheel kick over Sean Strickland years and years and years ago. You've probably seen the video somewhere. Man, that was a while ago. And Zach Scroggin's debuting on a couple days' notice. He's undefeated, but I always say this about undefeated prospects. Veterans versus undefeated prospects, especially ones who are debuting and are unproven, that's a risky play. You can't pick that. That being said, I'm going with Zaleski Dos Santos by KO in the third round. I'm picking him for a late finish here. I really think that he's actually going to knock him out. We could see a spinning wheel kick. It'll probably be a kick of some sort, head kick. He really hasn't been proven. I haven't seen much of him, and he needs to prove his level or prove his skill against someone who's been in the Man, I can't speak today. Someone who's been in the UFC for a while. So if he wins, it's good on him. Oh, my bad, guys. There's 4 ranked fighters. Prelim headliner, we got Carolina. Oh, fuck. I still can't say this name. Man, why do Polish people have to have, the most unpronounceable names ever? We got Carolina Kowalkiewicz. Yeah. Kowalkiewicz. Yeah, I'll say that like Jan Blachowicz. Versus Denise Gomez. So, you know me. I don't care about my women's fight. But let's take a look here. So we got Carolina. I'm not even going to attempt to say her last name here. Her last fight was on 301. It was a Brazil card. She's got a really not good record, and she can get a decision win sometimes, but then she'll lose others. It's a little confusing. But she's on a bit of a decline. Denise Gomez. Let's take a look here. I don't know much about these unranked women prospects. She has a win she lost to Amanda Hill. Or not Amanda. Why did I say Amanda? Angela Hill. Not that long ago. When was that? I think that might have been the boring ass Derek Lewis card. The Almeida versus Lewis, where just Almeida fucking cuddled Derek Lewis for 5 rounds. And she has that win on what was it? International Fight Week. What fight night was that? Fuck. She has a win over unranked women's prospect number 43. So I'm going to say she's looked pretty good recently. I'll pick Denise Gomez by decision. Carolina hasn't looked that good recently. Blah, blah, blah. Women's fights. Yes, let's move on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why do they keep giving me unpronounceable names? We got Mansur Abdul Malik versus Dusko Todorovic. Oh, actually, I might have said that right. There's just a lot of accents. This is at middleweight. We got a big betting favorite with Mansur Abdul Malik, debuting in the promotion. A lot of people are picking him. He's 6-0. He's undefeated with all finishes. So he's a little Shavkat Rakhmonov Jr., just American and not Shavkat Rakhmonov. And we got Dusko Todorovic, who's coming off a loss to Christian Leroy Duncan. That's not a bad loss at all. I could live with that loss. Also, Gregory Rodriguez looking crazy lately. So all in all, not bad losses all around. He's done really good. And I got to say this again. I get it. All finishes, undefeated. But looking at who he's been up against and who he's beat, he only has, I believe, if I'm not being stupid, he only has 3 losses in the UFC. And, 4, my bad. He debuted undefeated. But those losses have been to relatively good competition. I am going to say that I'm picking Dusko Todorovic by decision. Just by decision. He does finish a lot of his fights. Only one of his wins has gone to a decision. And I'm trying to put together the brain power to think of what it was. I don't even know if it was in the UFC. But I believe he'll go to a decision. I believe this will be a hard-fought fight for both of these guys. Honestly, I could see either of them coming out with the win. I think this is going to be a lot closer than people think. Just because he's undefeated and all finishes doesn't mean he's going to win. Shavkat Bilal. You heard me. Next up, we got women's strawweight. Luna Pinheiro versus Gillian Robertson. Do I even need to explain myself here? If you go to the UFC website, you can check which country Gillian Robertson is from. Also, genuinely has just looked really good lately. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you gotta admit she's looked really good lately. Both her last fights looked really good. I get she lost to Tabitha Ritchie, but that doesn't give a shit. That was just Canadian luck, or Canadian misfortune. I'm picking Gillian Robertson by decision. She doesn't get finishes that often. At least she hasn't recently. Both her last. Actually, no, she had that submission. And who was it? Polyana. No. Yeah, it was Polyana Viana. I'm fucking stupid. But yeah, I am picking her by decision. Get fucked, rest of the world. Canada reign. Oh Canada. Viva la Canada. Next up, bantamweight, we got Gaston Bolanos versus Cortavius Romius. Holy fuck, who named these people? I'm sorry, Gaston, like Beauty and the Beast, and Cortavius Romius. All right, goddamn. All right, let's take a look here. So Romius is coming off the Contender Series. He actually had a couple good wins there. And then we also got Gaston. Over here, man, I'm going to overpronounce the shit out of Gaston. He's coming off a loss to Marcus Magny. Not a bad loss. He's literally getting a ranked opponent next week. He's fighting Jonathan Martinez. Sorry, still drinking. That being said, looking off what he's done in the Contender Series, Romius has been pretty good. But also, Bolanos is coming from the UFC, which is a higher level competition. So this is really tough to pick. I am going to say Cortavius Romius by a knockout. We've seen second round KO. Gaston went out against Marcus Magny, we saw. So I don't know how his chin's going to hold up, but he has been off for a while. But looking at Romius, what he did on the Contender Series, I'm going to pick him by KO. Next up, we got GM3 Gerald Meerschaert versus Reiner de Ritter. Man, this is tough. This is tough to predict because Reiner de Ritter's a big betting favorite. He's fought at that pro level for a while. He's a little old, but so is Gerald Meerschaert. The thing with this fight is that, one, I can never pick Gerald Meerschaert confidently and get away with it. I can never do it. He's so on and off, but at the same time, like, he's probably going to finish someone is the thing. Like, if you're fighting Gerald Meerschaert, odds are you're not going to a decision. Reiner de Ritter, same thing here, man. Fuck. This is going to be a high-level grappling fight from both these guys. And the thing with Reiner de Ritter, he's coming from one championship. And the thing is that he was one championship champion forever. We had one other one championship champion come over to the UFC. And his name was the spinning back fist Ben Askren. Amazing fighter. Striking not so much, but wrestling very good, in all honesty. But, man, the level of competition and maybe his age is so different. Oh, man, this is tough. I'm going to say we're going to go Gerald Meerschaert by round 2 submission. I think he's going to add on to his finishing spree. Most middleweight finishes. I think he's going to keep going. Definitely going to be close so between both these guys. I don't think this is going to a decision. I think either Reiner de Ritter will submit him or GM3 will submit Reiner. I don't know. That's tough to predict. And already, we are at the main event. We had a lot of fight cancellations. Some were rebooked, some were not. Not to mention, last week, I was very sad about it. Derek Lewis I don't know what's going on with him. I'm really worried about him. But he had to pull out. And now, Yonata Deniz is going to fight Marcin Tybura on UFC 309. Which, honestly, yeah, I'm picking Yonata without a doubt in my mind. I don't care that his grappling hasn't really been proven. he's going to probably knock Marcin out. So we got Neil Magny versus Carlos Prates. Neil Magny is an amazing gatekeeper. But I've got a vendetta against this fucker. I have a vendetta against him. Not because he beats his children like Ian Gary says. Because he beat someone else. He beat what was at the time supposed to be our only ranked fighter. And now, of course, it isn't. And he beat Trevin Giles last weekend. That's right. Proper Mike Malott. This fucker somehow managed to pull off the flukiest fluke fucking win against Mike Malott in the last 15 seconds of that fight that Mike Malott was winning. Oh, I have issues with this man. Most decision wins in the UFC. He's got 29 wins with 12 of them being finishes, sorry. So now he's facing Carlos Prates, and we've seen Neil Magny be knocked out before. Oh, also, forgot to completely mention about Carlos Prates, a member of the Fighting Nerds, also knocked out Leach, which I'm still crying about, on UFC 305. All-around finishing machine. I don't know how this guy does it, considering that he smokes cigarettes and just drinks beer all the time. I could not smoke cigarettes on a fighting camp, I'd imagine. I don't smoke, but I would imagine it does not help your cardio one bit. But yeah, we saw what he did to Leach. Leach has never been knocked out before. And, oh my God. Jesus H. Christ. That was crazy. He knocked out Leach in what was it, round 2? Late round 2, I think. So we've seen that he can go a relative distance, but he's just fucking KOing everyone. So, looking at who we've seen Neil Magny lose to, Mike Malott for the first half of that fight. We've also seen him get finished by Gilbert Burns, Shavkat, what was his name? Santiago Ponzinibbio. He got KO'd in that fight. That was a while ago. Somehow he managed to beat Robbie Lawler a while ago. We won't talk about that. But, yeah, when Neil Magny got KO'd by Santiago, that, is bringing up some flags that, maybe he's probably going to get fucking KO'd in this fight. So I'm going to say Carlos Prates, round 2, brutal KO. Brutal. I'm talking. Like the Leach one. Going straight out. Alright? I'm picking Carlos Prates by a nasty KO. And that's the picks. Jesus Christ, this is a short card. We're already done. Was the sphere card longer than this shit? Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, it's one. It's even the Apex event was one fight longer than the sphere card. Jesus. Oh man, that drink is good. All right, let's get into Q&A this week. So we'll start with 3-piece. Now that it's over, are you satisfied with the Edmonton card? Fuck yeah. I see a lot of people on Verdict talking about it being a lackluster card. Might be my Canadian bias, but I actually think that's pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. The only fights I didn't like the first fight of the card. And other than that, I liked it. I liked the rest of it. I will say, Mike Malott had a bit of a lackluster performance, I'm not going to lie, but all of his wins before had come by finish. And I was expecting him to maybe cruise into a decision, especially the way that the Neil Magny fight was going. Because he was cruising to a decision on that fight. And as for the next question, is it time for Mike Malott to have another crack at a top 15 opponent? Not yet. Not yet. He needs to fight someone else. He needs to fight another opponent. And this is just me. This is completely unrelated to that question. And this coming from a Canadian hurts to say. We need to cut Marc-Andre Barriault. Oh my. He maybe give him one more fight. Getting KO'd by Dustin Stoltzfus, who's a fucking wrestler? That's not good, man. In the first round, and I don't even think it was that hard of a hit. I mean, I'm sure if I got hit by it, I'd probably go out, but that's probably because I'm fucking 30 pounds or more than that, less than them. Actually, I don't even know if I'd go out. Like, that looked like not even that bad of a hit. I know that's weird to say, calling the shots to see whether I get knocked out. That's like saying if you got $1 million to let Mike Tyson punch you right in the face, would you take it? I don't think I would. No guarding. And Jasmine Jasudavicius, a top 7 or 8. I agree with that. I do believe Jasmine's looked really good lately. Really interested to see where she gets. She did look. She looked really good in that fight. Oh man, what rank is she now? 13. Yeah, we could see her against we could see Jessica Andrade, Amanda Ribas around that area, but I don't think they give her Rose for some reason. Like, just because Rose is a star and no one likes Canadians in the UFC. I would say, yeah, probably a Jessica Andrade or a Amanda Ribas. Also, did you guys see that not only did Alexander Romanov get cut, along with Mateusz Nicolau, already Mateusz Nicolau getting cut is wild. For a 3-fight losing streak, he was still ranked number 10. But Alexander Romanov, number 12, coming off a win. Mind you, or number 13, something like that. Coming off a win. And Rodrigo Nascimento, both cut. Rodrigo Nascimento was in a main event this year. Now, I will say, Rodrigo Nascimento did, in my opinion, absolutely nothing to get ranked. Nothing at all, in my opinion. But cutting both the guys from that fight is wild, in my opinion. And how better shout out to Derek Lewis? Oh, man, I need that guy. Oh, my balls is hot. Oh, my balls. Oof. Sorry for the Derek Lewis impression. Now that America has re-elected their pumpkin, do you think Russian fighters like Hamzat will start fighting on U.S. soil again? What was the issue with it before? Is it just that Trump wants them here? I hope so. Like, I need Char in the U.S. I need Hamzat in the U.S. Like, they can't just get away with being privileged and fighting in the UAE all the time. Like, that's just not how it works, man. Like, I get that they probably pay a shit ton of money just to see them, but that's not it. Like, you don't get to just fight there. Islam I like. He's been taken to not fighting in the UAE, which is really nice. He fought in Australia, New Jersey. He did fight like Abu Dhabi that one time, but that's because Volk even said that they would fight again in Abu Dhabi. And let's see. Rumor has it Charles versus Speedbag Chandler is in jeopardy. Oh, man. No, I don't think it is. I think it got reconfirmed. Who steps in? Moicano or Hooker? So, if that needed a backup fighter, I would probably lean more towards Dan Hooker. Although, I gotta say, I think Moicano stands a chance against Michael Chandler if Oliveira's out. Definitely. I think Michael Chandler's incredibly overrated. That's just me. But I'd say Dan Hooker otherwise. Dan Hooker's definitely looking at some high-level competition next. I thought it was going to be Charles Oliveira next. Like, that was that just me? Like, I thought after he had that win at 305, the first thing I said out of my head was give this man Charles Oliveira. He deserves it. But now, yeah, I'd probably say Dan Hooker over everybody. But we could see Moicano. I know everyone is high on Prates, but Neil hits hard. Does Neil KO him? Fuck no. I don't think so. I don't think Neil's gonna KO him. I really don't like Neil Magny for reasons that Canada will not disclose. But he's more of a grappler, and especially Neil has a lot of decision wins. So just the way that his UFC career is going, especially Prates, both these guys, I don't think he's KOing him. I think Prates is KOing Magny. Oh, and we didn't get another question from Ange. I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, we got his questions. We got, I still can't say his name. Ange? It might be that. Anja? Something like that. All right, we got Oi Far Out. Spotify is starting to piss me off, eh? None of my replies work anymore. This might not even exist. Blah, 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 blah. Sick of it. Blah, blah. This does come through. Then are you ready to see poor old Neil get flatlined in the first round again? I think the second, but yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited because I really want to see him get KO'd because of what he did to my boy Mike Malott. And I know Jones is old, but he doesn't deserve the hate. He should have vacated, but it's easy to say as a viewer that you vacate immediately, but realistically, none of us are doing that. That's true. I don't know. We have people like Yuri Prohaska, Jamal Hill, people who came back faster than John Jones and vacated the title spill. John Jones has held on to that puppy forever. And the reason that people hate John Jones right now is because he's refusing to fight anyone. He's the champion of the world and is refusing to fight anyone else. Like Tom Aspinall, the literal fucking interim champion, I mind you. John Jones, that interview that came out the other day. Are you going to fight Tom Aspinall after Stipe? Probably not. I'm gonna say Alex Pereira can come up a division. What the fuck? Go, just retire. Fuck. You're gonna fight old man Stipe and that's it. But you're not gonna fight Tom. Tom being there is going to be the coldest thing ever because just his presence will probably intimidate Tom. He'll be like, oh, fuck. Tom's here. I got to go. He's so fucking scared of Tom. And I do know why because he'd lose that fight. I'm saying it now. He'd lose that fight. But, man, yeah, that's why he's pissing me off right now. He deserves the hate because he's just quacking everywhere. He's a duck. And he hasn't fought in a year and a half. Oh my god. Did anyone see the TNT Sports posted the edited Jones vs. Stipe poster of the most days of inactivity as a champion. Most days without fights to get a title shot. I thought that was pretty fucking funny. Someone definitely lost their job at TNT Sports. And yeah, I guess that's really it. Now, actually, another thing I want to say. I'm looking for more ideas for this channel. Not if you're listening on Spotify, Angelo. You're gonna have to find that on YouTube. But I'm kind of thinking of other options for YouTube, and I want to know what. Because I love cooking. I've always had a passion for cooking, and especially nutrition as a whole. If that would be something people are interested in, I would 100% make cooking videos, food, stuff like that. Especially nutrition. I have a lot of healthy recipes I love, especially when I'm at fight camp. I love eating them. But yeah, tell me if you guys, I don't know, Verdict. I'm assuming most of you guys are probably from Verdict. If there's actually, you know what? That's a good point. If anyone on this is listening to this podcast and you're not from Verdict, give yourself a round of applause. Thank you. Because I don't know how the hell you would have found out about this thing. But yeah, I guess that's really about it. Man, I'm really just grinding this at the 35-minute mark because every episode's got to be 35 minutes. Oh, man, actually. Oh, no, I already said that on Verdict. I got a Khabib, or not a Khabib. What is Khabib? I got a Khabib autographed card. It's coming in the mail because you had to redeem it because Khabib hasn't signed it yet. And Dana got the same card. And he's saying it's worth a lot. But, I love UFC cards. I think they're sick. I got a signed Charles Oliveira card, a signed Marab card. That aged even better. I've got a piece of Volk's. I love it. I got a piece of Volk's training mat so I could sniff his feet when I'm kidding. That's fucked up. I got a Jalen Turner signed card and some shorts with it. And then I got Amanda Lemos. Oh, well. I've grinded out the time enough. Thank you guys for listening, as per usual. And I will see you guys all next week. Bye-bye.